Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. This is Tamur, and this is my channel, the Cloud Security Guy. Now, the AI market, I was just checking out. It's going through amazing growth, same as it has been happening for the past 2 or 3 years. And its potential by 2030, it's going to be a $1 trillion market. And one of the key things which people keep asking me is how to start a career in AI security. I mean, how to start it, because it has become a bit confusing. People don't know how to start. I remember like 20 years back when SQL injections became very, very popular and they became like a nightmare for every developer. We didn't know how to start learning application security, right? We didn't have web application firewalls. Now we have things like prompt injections that are threatening AI models, and the rate at which AI is becoming integrated with business. That means that every cybersecurity professional needs to like upskill ASAP. And unlike traditional cybersecurity threats, like malware, AI related risks are much broader in scope, and they cover the data, the model, even like social impacts. And traditional cybersecurity frameworks, they don't help you that much. So that's why it's very important to understand like a specialized way of approaching threat modeling, especially when you're doing risk assessments of AI. And this is where tools like MITRE ATLAS come into play, which I'm going to talk about. As you can see here, the AI and cybersecurity market, it is also expected to become like $1 trillion market by 2033. This is a very, very hot field, and definitely I would recommend that if you are thinking about like setting yourself a future roadmap for yourself, this is a great industry to be in. But like I said, the key complaint I get is people don't know how to start. Like, where do I start? How do I get these skills? uh, Currently they don't have that many certifications on AI security. And how do I understand how the attacks happen? So this is the whole point of today's topic, which is threat modeling AI with MITRE ATLAS. That's what I wanted to talk to you about and show you how you can do it. So if you're new to the channel, please do like and subscribe to this channel and talk about things like cloud security and AI on a weekly basis. So let's get started. So when you talk about threat modeling AI with MITRE ATLAS, let's set the background a little bit so you fully understand what I'm talking about. First thing you need to understand that AI cyber attacks, they're very, very different. They're not like your malware attacks or your web application attacks or your DDoS attacks, right? Where you can just secure the infrastructure, secure the application. AI risks are different from regular cybersecurity risks. So why? Why is that? Well, the first reason is there's a focus on data. Traditional cybersecurity, they protect like systems, networks, and data from unauthorized access or modification. But with AI, you can, if you are able to like change the data, you can actually introduce new vulnerabilities like poor quality, biased or manipulate data. They can actually change how your AI models are functioning. So unlike regular cybersecurity risks, which often involve protecting static data, AI risks require like ongoing integrity and quality of dynamic data. Apart from that, you have model manipulation. So AI models, the AI model which is making the decisions, right? They are vulnerable to specific attacks like model poisoning or backdoor, where attackers can manipulate the training data or the model itself. And these attacks are very, very, low key and subtle, and they're challenging to detect. Why? Because they do not directly attack the system's infrastructure. So it's not like an attacker is directly attacking the infrastructure, but he's trying to trick the AI application. He's actually compromising the AI's decision making process. You also have things like adversarial attacks, where you can make slight modifications to data and you can trick the AI system. And this type of attack is unique to AI. There is no direct parallel with traditional cybersecurity because it focuses more on how the AI system is making decisions, right? There is no direct parallel to your normal cybersecurity. So this was why what do you call AI attacks are different. So what are the types of AI attacks, right? If you wanted to talk about, so if you are like an hacker or somebody who's trying to compromise AI applications, you would want to know, okay, where do these attacks happen? Like, what are the things I can do? Where are AI applications vulnerable? And where I can attack these applications and cause them to get compromised. So this is why this is like a simple what do you call diagram I had made earlier. This is part of my AI security course. As you can see here, there are many attacks which can happen at all levels. So you can have model poisoning, you can have data poisoning. When you're testing the model, there can be a data breach. When you're optimizing the model, when you're deploying the model, there can be a compromise. And if you move from left to right, you can see there are so many attacks, right? You can extract data, you can compromise the model, and on and on. So it becomes very difficult to understand. And this is how like attacks can happen, right? Once your system is deployed, somebody can look at infer how the AI application is working through like attacking the API. Somebody can evade the model. So they can trick the models. If your AI system is detecting malware, they can actually trick the application. They can actually poison the model, so they can compromise in it like a supply chain attack. They can poison the data and on, right? So this is like an example of like data poisoning. So supposing you have a what do you call a self-driving car, so somebody can actually poison the data, right? And that what will happen is the car, it will not be detecting what do you call human being. It will be thinking that okay, this is not a human being, this is like a tree or a signal, and it can actually bring down the car. You can actually even have the car like hit somebody, right? There's so many different vulnerabilities which can happen just because the attacker managed to gain access to the data and poison it. So this is where of course the confusion happens. If somebody says, how do I start? There's so many attacks, right? How do they happen? So if I'm trying to do a risk assessment for AI applications, I've gotten this question many, many times, right? How do I assess it? How do I make sure that I'm able to find it? So this is where I wanted to talk about a MITRE Atlas framework. So Atlas stands for Adversarial Threat Landscape for AI Systems. It's an extension of the well-known MITRE attack framework, which you use in incident response. So basically, like I said, it's a living encyclopedia, a living knowledge base of AI attacks at all levels. So it's completely free. You don't have to buy it. You don't have to purchase it like an ISO standard. It's completely free. And it shows you all the different attacks that can happen at all the different levels. So if you're assessing security for your applications, this is an excellent tool to have. So this is how it looks like. This is called the Atlas Matrix. So it was designed specifically to address the unique threats that are posed by AI systems. So it gives you, like I said, a knowledge base, how the attackers are doing their tactics, targeting AI. And so you can actually use this. So if you're doing a risk assessment or a threat modeling for your AI application, it can show you what are the different attacks that can happen at each level, right? And you can use it to anticipate potential threats and implement proper security controls, right? Supposing you're deploying an AI model in a financial system, so this in this case, Atlas can help you identify potential tactics like model inversion, where attackers, they can infer sensitive data, and you can map your threats to the AI lifecycle, because AI, like as you can see here, there are different lifecycle phases, right? From data collection to training to deployment, and it can help you map where the attacks are happening at which level. So if you want to take a simple example, this is like an poisoning training data, right? So this can show you, look, if you're putting data into your AI application, this is how uh, data poisoning can happen, and it can show you case studies also. So this is the most coolest thing which I like. They actually show you how within the industry similar attacks have happened, and you can use that to actually understand it much better. So you can actually simulate that attack within your own environment. So right, you can simulate like a data poisoning attack using the same thing which happened with virus total, and then you can see, hey, what happened, like am I vulnerable or not to the same issue, because now you have an actual case study. So if you're trying to get budget for your AI security solutions or some AI security training, you can show your CISO or CIO or CTO, look, these are the attacks which have happened within the. So if you click on like the virus total incident, you can see an example, right? How the attack happened, how was it done, what are the capabilities, and what are the security controls you can implement. And you can actually feed this if you have teams like red team, blue team, and if you have like security penetration testers and they want to know what sort of attacks you want to simulate. So this is where you can actually you can feed them the MITRE Atlas framework. You can understand what are the different threats that are happening. As you can see here, so you have a red team who are attacking the AI applications, right? They're doing inference, model invasion, all these sort of attacks that you've seen. And you can have a blue team who is trying to protect against it, right? And this is one of the best things about MITRE Atlas. It gives you real life case studies, real life examples of how attack can happen, and it gives you the controls. So this is what I wanted to talk to you about, guys. If you're serious about AI security, definitely take a look at it. It is completely free, right? It doesn't cost you a penny, and it'll give you a great idea of the sort of cyber attacks that are happening at the AI level and what sort of controls you can implement to protect your organization and your AI applications against these sort of attacks, right? And if you're still interested, I have a course on AI risk and cybersecurity on Udemy. I'll try to put the link there. I'll put a discounted link, right? And if you're still interested and you really want to, right, explore in detail, check this course out. So I hope this was useful to you guys. This is basically a quick crash course on threat modeling AI with MITRE Atlas and how it can help you. Thank you very much. Do like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.